Okay, I wanted to go over a few things to help someone out because they don't seem to understand how I simply touch up sketches. Oops. First off, I use this hard soft brush, and I realize it's not a default brush in Photoshop, at least not certain versions. Like I have C6 and that's apparently not default in this, you know, and I could have sworn it was. It just has a lot of pen pressure to it. It's hard but soft at the same time, like that. And depending on how much pressure you put in, here's really hard and it gets light. And so if you do it really light, you can, like that. So usually like I do really lightly values. That's it. Anyways, but let me show you how you can put it together in Photoshop. I don't know if we'll work with anything like Sai, but it could be similar. So you take a basic one of these brushes and you turn on transfer and have it on pen pressure on the control under the opacity jitter and the flow jitter. Turn the minimum down to 0. No, that's not what you do. Oh, here we go. Under the shape dynamics, bring the minimum diameter all the way up. If you have it down, you have the like. I mean, this is pretty good for sketching with too, but this one, it's smaller and bigger with pen pressure, so that is good too if you want it like that. But I always have it turned up so I can get large areas. If you look closely, it starts to do, you can see those circles. I'm trying to remember what causes that. Usually just ignore it, because if you do it really fast, that's why you can see all the circles. I think it's something to do with the spacing. Here we go, so why it does that. The spacing's up, so now I won't do this anymore. Should probably edit my brush so it doesn't do that for me anymore. I think mine does that too. No, mine doesn't do anymore, so I guess this is a default brush. Strange. Either way, so now you know what brush I use for the most part when I do soft shading or quickly just add in a bit of Villialian shading when I do my sketches. I just throw them in like this. That's really quick and easy way. It's still sketchy and messy, but it looks nicer. And then I always do these in black and white first, and then I add slight color with this thing called selective color, or you can just go into the hue and saturation area and adjust the slides and add some colors overall. But it's not as cool as the selective color thing, which I found out about last semester in class. My teacher just like popped it open and messed with the slides. I'm like, holy crap, where has this been all my life? It's nifty. Luckily I'm putting this underneath my liner layer. Sometimes I don't, then I regret it. Because sometimes I do want to erase from beneath the lines. So I can go in again with a different value. Now I'm a bit bigger. Getting those more values. Too dark. Oh, that was a weird noise. It's this Friday night. It's gonna be noisy tonight for me. Yes, I hope it's not. I have to be at work tomorrow morning. This is what I do when I'm like, when it's this usual time, 9 going on 10, I'm like, well, I have to hurry up and finish up the next prompt. So I go and do the black and white sketches. But I still put a lot of love into it. I'm hoping I can do a full color one sometime soon. Again. I have a good plan for the very last prompt. It's gonna be fun. I love it. This one I'm gonna have only just pyro cooking, as you will be seeing, as you actually would have already saw. But I was originally have engineer grilling too, but I'm tired. I've been all over the place today. I saw Cloudy with a Chance and Meatballs. It's great. You have to see it once you get the chance. I actually think it was a little bit better than the first one, actually. Which you don't usually say about most sequels. Alright. So, go. Merge this. Some let's clean up a few errors maybe. It. Okay. Oops. Alright, so there's a finished black and white sketch. And then you go up to image, adjustments, and it's kind of hidden, but it's like, you know, there's about 5 sections in here. You have brightness, you get the adjustment of the levels of brightness, contrast. This is all color, balance, and hue, saturation, vibrance, filters, go down, and then you have invert, posterize, threshold, gradient map, and then here we go, selective color. And it lets you choose any of these specific colors in there and edit the slides. Well, right now it's on default on reds, so then you go down to blacks. And here's where it gets cool. So like whatever's black in here, or at least, you know, close to the shade of black, you can it'll edit that. So like here it's like really intense, all the blacks are really intense, right? So you know, you don't have to bring the sliders all the way up. Mess it a little bit. This is like a little more green, a little more pink. Too pink for my taste. A little more yellow, a little less yellow. Mix, add more blue. Kind of like the red I had going earlier. I might get rid of that. Just on 0, I guess. You can also edit the brightness of the black too. So if you want to get darker black and more red or something like that. And then you can do the neutrals, which is pretty much everything else besides the white. Which sometimes can be too much, so I hardly ever change it. this looks kind of fun. See, sometimes you get some pretty interesting things, so maybe I'll go back to the black and make it more pink. Oh, now see, this is a little too intense. It's because the black I have brought it up, so let me get this down. Oh, that's a bit ugly. Okay, so now I screw with it too much. I'm going to undo it and start over again. I should probably just leave the value of the blacks alone. I haven't actually experimented with the difference between absolute and relative is relative, because it doesn't look like it's much different. Alright, and then the whites would edit everything. Actually, for whatever reason, the whites is picking up the grays, which is strange. Oh, because it's on relative instead of absolute. Kind of like that better. The servers of the new. So yeah, that's how it's done.